Chapter 4: The Silent Crisis, Men's Mental Health and Emotional Suppression. For many men between the ages of 35 and 55, life presents a unique set of challenges that bring significant emotional and psychological stress. Whether it's navigating a midlife crisis, dealing with career changes, or adjusting to shifting family dynamics, the pressure to have it all together often becomes overwhelming. However, many men face these pressures in silence, suppressing their emotions and internalizing their struggles. This chapter explores the increasing rates of mental health issues among men in this age group, highlighting how emotional suppression contributes to these crises. 1. The midlife crisis, a time of reckoning. A term often associated with men in their 40s and 50s, the midlife crisis refers to a period of emotional turmoil and self-reflection that occurs as individuals confront the passage of time and evaluate their life choices. For many men, this crisis is marked by feelings of dissatisfaction with their careers, relationships, or overall sense of purpose. However, for men who have spent years suppressing their emotions, this moment of reckoning can trigger an intense emotional breakdown. The midlife crisis often forces men to confront unmet expectations, both their own and those imposed by society. Men who have repressed their emotions for decades may suddenly experience a rush of frustration, regret, and anxiety as they realize that they have spent much of their lives denying or ignoring their true feelings. This realization can lead to impulsive decisions, such as sudden career changes, attempts to reclaim their youth, or even destructive behaviors like infidelity or substance abuse. However, these actions are often a misguided attempt to escape the emotional burden of years of suppression. Instead of addressing their feelings in healthy ways, men may engage in behavior that only exacerbates their emotional turmoil, leading to further internal conflict and worsening mental health. 2. Career and financial pressures. For many men, their identity is closely tied to their career and financial success. By the time they reach their 40s and 50s, they often find themselves at the peak of their careers with significant responsibility to both their employers and their families. This pressure to provide, succeed, and maintain control over their work life can leave little room for emotional expression. Men in this age group may be reluctant to express vulnerability at work, fearing it will damage their credibility or professional relationships. As a result, they suppress feelings of stress, burnout, or inadequacy, which can eventually lead to anxiety or depression. This emotional suppression can also contribute to physical burnout, with chronic stress taking a toll on both mental health and physical well-being. Additionally, financial pressures, whether from supporting children's education, maintaining a mortgage, or saving for retirement, can exacerbate feelings of anxiety and inadequacy. Men who feel unable to meet these financial expectations may experience guilt and shame, which they are often unwilling to express. This contributes to a growing sense of internal conflict that can eventually manifest in mental health crises, such as depression or panic attacks. 3. Family dynamics, parenting, partnership, and aging parents. As men enter their 40s and 50s, they often face significant changes in family dynamics. The responsibilities of parenting young children may shift to those of caring for aging parents, and relationships with spouses or partners may evolve as the couple grows older. These changes can trigger a cascade of emotional responses ranging from frustration to grief that many men struggle to process. Men who are primary caregivers to aging parents or who face the emotional challenge of seeing their parents' health decline often find themselves overwhelmed with guilt, helplessness, and sadness. However, the societal expectation that men remain strong and stoic in these roles can prevent them from seeking support or sharing their feelings with others. This emotional isolation can lead to a deepening sense of loneliness and depression, as men feel disconnected from those around them. Moreover, relationships with partners or spouses may undergo strain during this stage of life. Changes in intimacy, shifting responsibilities, and the pressures of managing a household and career can leave both partners feeling neglected or misunderstood. Without the ability to express their emotions or communicate openly, Many men withdraw emotionally from their partners, leading to further tension and even relationship breakdowns. This emotional distancing can significantly impact mental health, as men feel alienated from the very people they are closest to. 4. The hidden struggle, rising rates of mental health issues among men. While mental health issues have been rising across all demographics, men between the ages of 35 and 55 are particularly vulnerable. The pressures of life transitions combined with the cultural norms that discourage emotional expression have contributed to an alarming increase in mental health struggles among men in this age group. According to recent studies, suicide rates are higher for men than for women, with the highest rates occurring among men aged 45 to 54. This statistic highlights the deep emotional struggles that many men face as they approach midlife. Emotional suppression plays a significant role in this crisis, as men who are unable to express their feelings or seek help often turn to extreme measures to cope with their pain. In addition to suicide, other mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and substance abuse are on the rise among men in this age group. Men are often more reluctant than women to seek help for mental health concerns, viewing therapy or counseling as a sign of weakness. This cultural stigma, combined with the inability to express emotions, leads many men to suffer in silence, often until their struggles reach a crisis point. 5. The role of emotional suppression in mental health crises. Emotional suppression is a key contributor to the rising mental health issues among men in their midlife. When men are unable to process and express their emotions in healthy ways, they often resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse, aggression, or emotional withdrawal. This only deepens the emotional pain and creates a vicious cycle of self-destructive behavior. The inability to communicate feelings also prevents men from seeking support from others. Without a safe outlet for emotional expression, men often internalize their struggles, which leads to feelings of isolation and hopelessness. Over time, this can spiral into more serious mental health issues, including depression and suicidal ideation. 6. Breaking the silence, addressing emotional suppression. The first step toward addressing the mental health crisis among men is acknowledging the role that emotional suppression plays in perpetuating these issues. Men must be encouraged to break the silence surrounding their emotions and seek help when needed. Creating an environment where men feel comfortable expressing their feelings, both in personal relationships and in professional settings, is essential for fostering emotional well-being. Support systems, whether through therapy, peer support groups, or open conversations with partners, are vital for helping men process their emotions in healthy ways. Men must be reminded that seeking help is not a sign of weakness but an act of strength and self-care. Rebuilding a sense of community and connection can go a long way in breaking the isolation that many men feel. 7. Moving toward healing, the importance of vulnerability. For men between 35 and 55, emotional vulnerability is a key element of healing. By embracing vulnerability, men can begin to open up to themselves and others, allowing space for authentic emotional expression. This doesn't mean abandoning traditional masculine traits such as strength and resilience. Rather, it's about finding balance and allowing emotions to coexist with these traits. Ultimately, the mental health crisis among men in this age group is not an isolated issue but a symptom of a deeper societal problem, one that discourages emotional expression and reinforces the belief that men must face life's challenges alone. By changing the narrative around masculinity and emotional health, we can create a future where men are empowered to express their emotions and live healthier, more fulfilling lives. Conclusion: a call to action. Men aged 35 to 55 are facing an emotional crisis that is largely invisible to the public eye. Emotional suppression, combined with the pressures of midlife transitions, career demands, and family responsibilities, contributes to the mental health struggles that so many men silently endure. It is crucial that we begin to acknowledge the importance of emotional expression for men's well-being and create an environment where men feel supported in sharing their feelings. Only by breaking the silence around men's mental health can we begin to address the root causes of emotional suppression and work toward healing. In the next chapter, we will explore practical strategies for men to start breaking the cycle of emotional suppression, including tools for expressing emotions, seeking help, and building healthier emotional habits.